Satrix Trend Trader here. So we are on the second week of trading in 2021. There were some exciting things happening on the first week. The resources did a heavy lifting on the market. So we're expecting another eventful trading week in the second week. Again, we're going to start with the risk disclaimer. Any shared advice is not to be taken as an investment advice. We are just sharing these ideas with you. Okay, the first stocks that we'll be looking at, it's either they are at their all-time highs or they have reached a 52-week high. So we'll be sorting them. We'll be telling you what kind of stock we are looking at that moment. So now let's start with some of the stocks that are trading at their all-time highs. So the first stock that we're looking at is Anglo American. As you can see, since May last year, it started trading above the 200-day moving average, and then it came back to retest it again somewhere in November. Then from November, it's been trading above the 200-day moving average. So as you can see, the stock is extended from any of the moving averages, even the first moving average on our platform, the one that we're using, the 20-day moving average. The stock is stretched there. So if you were to use the moving average, it won't be easy to find an area of value. But if you look at this previous resistance, somewhere around 526 Rand per share, that's where the resistance could be. But then now you will have to wait for the stock to see if it can pull back to the previous resistance level, and then that will give you an opportunity to buy the stock. So yeah, if Anglo American does pull back a bit back to the 520 level to retest the previous resistance, that will give you a buy opportunity. But at this moment, as it is, well, the worst thing that can happen is that it continues to trade higher without even a bit of retest. Then it means that it might be difficult for you to find an area of value to buy the stock. Then let's look at BHP Billiton, same story. It's trading at its all-time high. It's currently trading at 456 Rand per share. The previous resistance level around 430 has been breached. Same thing with let me see if I can get a pen. The same thing that we saw with Anglo American. We want the stock to come back, retest this level, and then continue to trade high. Let's see if it does that. If it doesn't do that, then I guess the only option you have is to buy the stock at the current level as it is, and then set your stop just below the previous resistance level. So that will mean that your risk will be somewhere this much. So that seems like a large risk because that's about 60 Rand per share that you'll be risking there. So we will see if you find that as a favorable risk to reward. Then let's look at the JSE Top 40. So here it depends whichever ETF provider you prefer, but this is just the JSE Top 40. In this case, we have Satrix 40 ETF. As you can see, there were many people who were saying that the JSE is dead, as they were making a lot of money from other market, particularly the American market. So now, as you can see, post-COVID stuff last year in May, Top 40 started trading comfortably above the 200-day moving average. But then again, around October, November, it took a dip a bit. Probably maybe that's when we started to see the news of the second wave of coronavirus. But since the 5th of November, the stock has been trading above the 200-day moving average, starting from about 50 Rand per ETF. Is currently at 58 Rand 67. But as we mentioned that this is just the JSE Top 40. So whether you are looking at Satrix or you're looking at Cautious, Signia, any ETF provider that provide Top 40, you would see a similar image. Then there you can make a decision based on the other factors such as distribution and total expense ratio. But the picture. It's just the same thing. Are we going to see a minor pullback that will continue trade higher? Maybe we will, maybe we will not. But if it doesn't happen, again, you can buy at the current levels at about 58 rand and then set your stop somewhere near the 50-day moving average, risking about 5 rand per share or so. So that's it. And then we're looking at CFR Richmond. They sell some of the expensive stuff. The stock also has been trading above the 200-day moving average. So as you can see, for quite some time, if we go back, the stock has just been moving sideways. And then if you look at here, this level has acted like sort of a resistance level. So that's about 120, 125 rand level. And then as you can see, somewhere in November, the stock broke above this level and then it consolidated above it, moving closer to the 50-day moving average until it broke up or break out above this sort of another tiny resistance level. So now the stock is currently trading above around 150. So now it's a bit extended. You can wait for it to pull back around 180 or so that it can continue to trade higher, or you can buy at the current level and have your stop somewhere around 128 rand per share. It's up to you how you want to take the trade. Then we're not going to talk about Satrix, but Satrix is also trading at an all-time high. The reason why we don't want to cover Satrix is because there are news that the company might delist on the JSE and be listed at the New York Security Exchange. So we don't know what kind of implication that will have for investors. But for those who don't care about that, they can still consider investing in Satrix. But for us, we'll be staying on the sidelines until everything is cleared. And then there is a Texting Property Fund. As you can see, this one, it's currently trading at a 52-week high. 52-week high means as of today, if you go back by 52 weeks, it's the highest price it has traded. But if you go way back, you can see that at some point the stock was trading around 4 rand per share. So now sometime around December 2020, the stock attempted to trade above the 200-day moving average. As you can see, last week on the 4th of Jan, it broke above that, but there isn't a lot of volume. The volume is not above average. So now it's still holding above the 200-day moving average. At this moment, the stock can either pull back to this level and then continue to trade higher, or the stock can consolidate before breaking above, meaning that the stock can just move sideways a bit, can move sideways and then trade high. So if it moves sideways, consolidate, you would want to buy above the trading range, the tight trading range there. So somewhere around 2 rand a share or so. So those are the two scenarios that you expect. It's either the stock is going to pull back to the 200-day moving average, giving you an entry somewhere around 1 rand 50 per share, or the stock is going to consolidate a bit and then break above the 2 rand per share. So we'll see how that one plays out. Okay, now we are looking at stocks that are trading at their 52 weeks high, meaning that it's the highest it has traded in the past 52 weeks. So the first stock that we're looking at, it's Afrocentric Investment Group. We know that they are in the healthcare space, but we don't know what kind of services they offer. As you can see, the stock is trading at 460 per share, but there are some spikes in prices. So the stock is sort of a bit erratic. As you can see, the volumes, the average trading volume is somewhere between 100,000 to 93,000. So it's not a very liquid stock. We think that the highest it reached was somewhere around 487 cents per share. But for those who are interested in the stock, they can look into it. And then we've been talking about African Rainbow Mineral. Again, the previous time we spoke about it, we said that it was trading at an all-time high, and then as you can see now, it's still trading above an all-time high. It broke above the 260 resistance that was there. The stock is still moving high. It's holding the, still trading above the 20-day moving average, as you can see. Well, we did say that at some point around 220 per share that it was trading as an all-time high. Again, around 250 we did speak about it. It also now currently trading around 280 per share. So if you thought that the stock was expensive, somewhere around 190, 200, the stock is really getting more and more expensive. So we mentioned previously that all-time highs and 52-week highs are bullish signal. For instance, at some point Tesla was trading around $100 per share. Some people, they didn't buy. Last week it was trading at 860 US dollars. So just because it's getting more expensive doesn't mean that it can't get more and more expensive. So now, if you want to buy African rainbow mineral, you can just buy where and expect it to continue to trade higher, exactly where it is, or you can just wait for the stock to either pull back to this resistance and then continue to trade higher, or maybe wait for the stock to come back and trade near the 50-day moving average and then expect it to trade high. So those are some of the scenarios that you can wait for the stock to do before you pull the trigger. But just keep in mind that if you don't pull the trigger, it might happen that you can just miss the whole ride. So we saw another stock, Argent. So Argent is also one of those so kind of illiquid stocks, but it's currently trading at around 7 rand 35 cents per share. Let's see if we go to the weekly chart. Okay, maybe even at the monthly chart. So as you can see, it's currently trading at 7 rand 35. At some point, it has a bit of resistance somewhere. Let's see, somewhere around 11 rand, and also all the way up at 23 rand per share. So those are some of the levels that the stock can trade at. Well, we're not saying that it will reach those levels, but just in case it does. Okay, I can't extend this line. Okay, there it is. So as you can see, if you buy the stock at where it is currently, you should expect some resistance somewhere around 9 rand per share, all the way up to about 11 rand per share. But the stock, if it does continue to trade high, you can expect to see it going all the way to 23 rand per share. Well, we're not saying it will happen or it will not happen. As we mentioned, that it's sort of an illiquid stock, so the upward move will be a bit erratic, but yeah, it is there. Then we look at Xaro. It's also trading at a 52-week high. As you can see, just broke above this resistance level, so it's still near an area of value. As you can see, if you buy here, you can just have a stop somewhere around 145 rand per share and expect the stock to trade back to this level somewhere around 180. So the stock can just continue and go straight to that 180, or it can pull back a bit to this resistance level and then go trade there at 180. So those are the two scenarios. If you were to buy at this current level, I would expect a stop level somewhere around 145 and then see how the stock trades. Some people have been, so there are two kinds of people: the people who are in this ride and the people who missed this ride. I think the people who are more happy, it's the people who bought it while it was trading somewhere near the 30 cent, 40 cent. Those people will be up by no less than 600% return on this stock. But as you know, as soon as people start making money, they start to panic and start asking questions such as, should they stay with the position or should they cover their profit or whatnot? the way we see it, we are using trend following. The stock is moving high, so it's telling us that we should be buying this stock. So where do we take an entry of this stock? So it's either we wait for the stock to come near the 20-day moving average, find the support there, and then continue to trade higher, and that's where we would be buying the stock. Or else, if you're not waiting for it to come back, as you can see, it's not a pretty range, but that was sort of a resistance there, of which it has already broke out that resistance. So if you buy at the current level, it's 2 rand 85 cent per share. You can set the stop near the 20-day moving average, which is about 2 rand 40 per share, meaning that you'd be risking at least 40 cent per share on the stock. So we're not saying that the stock is going to continue to rise, but according to the chart, we know that, or we believe that price follow the path of least resistance. At this moment, the stock has an upward momentum, so we expect the stock to continue to trade high. So yeah, that's Jubilee. And then we have South 32. We spoke of South 32 that it is now currently trading above the 200-day moving average. So it went up and then it consolidated, forming something that looked like a bullish flag here. So now it has broken above this level. So now it's currently trading at 31 rand per share. We still think that is near the area of value. So where will you set your stop loss? Anywhere just below the 50-day moving average is not a bad place, but also below the 200-day moving average if you want to hold it for a long term. Below the 200-day moving average makes more sense, but for a short term, it could be anywhere below the 50-day moving average. And then we see how far the stock can trade, but we're just gonna hold that position for as long as the stock is trading above the 200-day moving average. And the last stock on the 52-week high is Glencore. Yeah, sometimes the market, it's not gonna wait for you. You will see the stock and then you will probably have a place where you would want to buy. So we're looking at Glencore. The area around 50 rand per share was our area of value. We're waiting for the stock to come and trade near it, but we just missed it. But now, in hindsight, you can see that on Wednesday, it closed around 51 rand per share. So that was the best area to buy it last week. Unfortunately, we missed that move. The stock is currently trading around 57 rand per share. So again, it's either the stock will come back and retest this level, and then we want to see a rejection of the downward movement. And then if the stock starts to print a candle trading above this, then we want to buy it and set our stop level somewhere around 44 rand per share. But that's what we wish, or that's what we want to see. If it doesn't happen, then it means that we might have to buy the stock at the current level. But just keep in mind that there is this potential area of value near the 62 rand per share. So if the stock doesn't retrace, it will go high. If it breaks above this, then we want to buy either the breakout or the retest of that breakout. So just keep in mind of those two potential plays that can happen with Glencore. Yeah, so that's it for Glencore. So now we are looking at stocks that just broke above the 200-day moving average, giving us a favorable risk to reward ratio. So previously we had AVI. The initial trade didn't work out. As you can see, the stock has been trending lower and lower, and there was an attempt to break above the 200-day moving average, but that breakout failed. So last week, the stock on Friday, it traded above the 200-day moving average again, giving us another buy signal. So we were looking to buy at this level and set the stop at 1.5 ATR below this level and see if the stock is going to continue trading above the 200-day moving average. And then we also have Bitvest. Also Bitvest, okay, Bitvest doesn't want to come. There is this equities property fund. It's also currently trading above the 200-day moving average. Let's see if you want to take that stock. Let's see if you can get Bitvest now. Yes, we are back at Bitvest. Bitvest has been on a distribution and then it broke below the 200-day moving average, and then it's been consolidating since March 2020, just trading sideways, and then there was an attempt to break and trade above the 200-day moving average in November. So it broke above, came back to retest that level. It's currently trading above the 200-day moving average again. So if you have missed this breakout, this is another opportunity to buy Bitvest at this level and then see if it will continue to trade above the 200-day moving average. So, and also we spoke of Imperial Holdings. Imperial Holdings have been trading on the downtrend for quite some time, and then it had a bit of a consolidation. When it broke above 200-day moving average, we spoke about this stock that it's giving a buy signal, but that it went back to trade below the 200-day moving average. So now it's back above 200-day moving average, currently trading near 42 Rand per share. So as long as it's trading above the 200-day moving average, it could be a buy. You can buy and set your stop just below 1.5 ATR, below the 200-day moving average, and hold for as long as it's trading above the 200-day moving average. And then another stock that gave a signal is Mmi Holdings. We think Mmi Holdings is the holding company for some insurance companies. Yeah. So now Mmi is currently trading around 16 Rand 50 per share. As you can see, it closed above the 200-day moving average, again giving us a buy signal. If you buy here, you expect a stop just below the 50-day exponential moving average, somewhere near 15 Rand cent per share, and we'll see if the stock will come back and test these levels around 19 Rand per share. If it breaks above this level, we'll expect the stock to go and test that high there at 22 Rand per share. So yeah, just keep in mind, if you look at the risk to reward, it's very much favorable, because that will be your risk level and then the reward level all the way from 16 Rand up there. It looks it's about 3 times or 4 times reward there. So that's a favorable risk to reward. Then we look at Nampak. Yeah, it's one of those shares that kept on falling for quite some time, and then started to consolidate here at this level. So now it broke above this. At some point it was trading above the 200-day moving average, then there was a pullback. So now it's back again above the 200-day moving average. So we want to see if the stock will continue to trade higher and probably reach this level somewhere around 5 Rand or so. But at this moment, it's giving a nice buy signal with a favorable risk to reward. And then there is Sanlam. As you can see, Sanlam has also been trading below the 200-day moving average. So now it's back at above the 200-day moving average, also giving a buy signal. As we said, if you have a stop somewhere around 56 Rand, the next resistance level is somewhere around 68, but also to keep in mind of this 64 Rand. So if you buy here, expect a bit of resistance around 64 Rand per share, all the way going to 68 Rand per share. But at this moment, it's a buy signal. So that's it for today. We have categorized the stocks according to the stocks that have reached their all-time high, and stocks that have reached their 52-week high, and stock that just broke above the 200-day moving average. So we hope that you'll be able to pick your stocks that you want according to your matrix, according to your strategy, and see if there's anything, some of the stock that we shared, if there are any stocks that meet your criteria. Remember, at the end of the day, the decision is yours. You are the one who's going to make the final decision. And if you like the content that we share with you, we like to ask you that you subscribe and click the notification icon so that every time we post a video, you will just get it. And if you like the content that we share with you, please click the like button. If there are anything, some comments, suggestions, or any comments, you can leave them in the comment section. Then we will be able to address them in the next video. Thank you. Have a good trading week. Let's try by all means to make money. Thanks.